Like,
And we're live.
Hey, we're live.
Yay. Woo.
Good. I'm outside. It's snowing.
I love this. High energy for Lab 34. So welcome everyone. Lab 34, welcome to New Ambassadors Theater Company. If this is the first time that you're joining us, a little introduction to our company at large. We are a 501c3 company based in Manhattan. This is our lab series, so Lab 34, meaning this is our 34th iteration of the lab series. This is where we present new works still in process for a read and for feedback and discussion. So we will be going through a selection of each of these works, and then afterwards we will be following up with feedback. So we in the Zoom chat will be joining with our videos to discuss and give feedback. But if you are watching on YouTube or, just on YouTube, we're not just doing it here now, you can give feedback to these playwrights via the form that will be in the chat. We will put it in the chat early, and we will also put it in after each piece, just so that you can always have access to that. And we really, really appreciate, we cannot emphasize enough how useful it is to these writers to get that feedback from you. So please do send us that feedback, just a little breakdown of how we do it here at New Ambassadors. We will be going through popcorn moments, so keep an ear out for things that just pop to you. We go through questions, so things that you maybe had a question on or maybe got a little lost on. Keep an ear out for that. And then development. Was there anything you would like to see further developed as this piece continues living and breathing and going through drafts? All right, and to a little bit of housekeeping. If you want to, this is your first time joining us, or even if you've joined us before but haven't signed up for our newsletter, we highly recommend signing up for our newsletter. So that you can keep up to date with everything we have going on. We will be moving on to further productions later this year, both online and hopefully in person. So please join our newsletter so that you have all of that information and you can join us as those things come up. Terms of new business, we have a new member of our company that we would like to introduce you to. Mally, if you'd like to unmute so you highlight.
Hi.
yay!
Mally will be joining us as our stage manager for those productions that we'll be having later, and she will also be chatting with us tonight in this feedback session, and we're all really excited to have her here and to get to know her more. I'm very, very excited.
Thank you.
And more information that will be live in the chat, just so everybody knows. It will we will have links to sign up for future labs if you are interested, if you're a writer or if you're an actor and you're interested in presenting work or working with us in this medium. Please, the newsletter is a great way to keep up with those, and they'll come to you periodically. Or if you want to sign up tonight and you've got that piece ready, send it to us. And with that said, I think that's everything. I did it.
Yay!
All right. Thank you. So, okay, then I think we can move on to our first piece of the evening by Miss Jasmine Spees.
That's me. Hi, everybody. So tonight's scene is from a full-length play that I just finished. Well, not super finished, but I'm in draft mode, called Blood is Thicker Than. And this particular scene takes place in a bakery. And what I am kind of looking to know here, I guess, from you lovely people out there, is if I've been working on the stage directions and kind of been working on, I know I've done a lot of the scene work, but in terms of tying it to the greater whole, which is going to be this piece. So yeah, that's just something I was thinking about. So actors, actually, Randall is not one of my actors. Hi, Randall, I see you. You can turn off your video, lovey. So anyways, turn off your video, bud. And then I've got Kirsten Hopkins as Laura. I've got Miley Binion as Emma. I've got Fernando Vieira as the customer and the voice over the loudspeaker. And I've also got John Pena Griswold on stage directions. Thank you so much, everybody.
Blood is Thicker Than, a full-length play by Jasmine Spees. Setting, August 2019, a mall in Florida suburbs. Scene 4, bakery. Projection, a small bake shop 4 stores away from the atrium across from the baby store. Emma and Laura work behind the counter. As they speak, they are cleaning up after a rush of customers. Wrappers and garbage are everywhere. Laura is training Emma as they are cleaning tables, sweeping, and wiping off the counter.
That was insane. I knew that K-pop band was popular, but that rush was other level.
I don't mind the rushes. They make the day go faster.
How do you do it?
Do what?
I can only stand dealing with people in limited doses, but you, Miss Jones, you're a machine.
You can call me Laura now.
It's certainly an adjustment.
After a few weeks, you'll get used to it. Believe it or not, my dream was not to be a high school teacher and work at Beverly's down-home bakery.
A customer enters.
Hi, how can we help you?
Which way's the atrium? That's where the concert is, right? My daughter left her cell phone behind.
Just keep heading to the right as you leave here.
Thanks. I'll be swimming in a sea of screaming teenage girls to find her.
Good luck, sir.
I'm gonna need it, thanks.
He exits.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure, there's no pretense here.
Why are you working here? Besides having a backstage pass to incredibly amazing cookies.
Cookies aside, that is a loaded question.
Did I overstep?
No. Like many teachers, I started a second job to help pay off my student loans.
I'm working this job to try to get ahead of my student loans as much as I can.
That's very wise. I finally paid mine off last year. Don't do the math on that.
I won't, but wow.
What have you decided to major in?
Elementary education.
That's fantastic.
Can't imagine doing anything else.
Then do it.
It's not that simple. You're a teacher and you're here. No offense.
None taken.
Teaching was a stable job.
It used to be. The industry, parent attitudes, and benefits have changed a lot. But at the end of the day, I'm passionate about what I do and the effect it has on my students.
Even if it means...
Even if it means working at Miss Beverly's down-home bakery too. More than ever, the world needs teachers who care.
That's so true. I feel like so many of my teachers in high school had lost their passion and were just phoning it in. Not you, of course.
You get extra credit for brown nosing.
Hey!
Seriously, I think a lot of teachers are getting burnt out due to testing requirements and all the paperwork that goes with it. I do my best to work within those parameters with less money and resources, but I still try to make learning fun.
I had no idea teachers had to deal with all that.
I hope I haven't made you reconsider your choice.
Actually made me more determined to be creative despite those obstacles.
You've got the right attitude.
Thanks. I teach art at summer camp. It's amazing. Watching kids get excited when they learn something new made me realize I want to do this for the rest of my life. The 5-year-olds are totally my jam. They notice everything and call it out. If they don't like something or someone, they let you know.
They sure do.
You have children, Miss Jones? Laura, sorry, I swear I'll get it right.
I have 2 kids. One is 5, so I know exactly what you mean.
What about the other one?
The little one is almost a year old. He's my special little guy. He has a rare genetic disease called Angelman syndrome.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I hadn't either. It affects only 1 in 20,000 children.
He's so young. How did you discover he had it?
At first, he was unable to eat and needed to be tube fed. It took a series of genetic tests and months of waiting to figure it out.
And when you found out?
The doctor says he may never walk, will most likely suffer from seizures, and will probably have a maximum vocabulary of around 40 words. A whole laundry list of things.
So sorry.
I've never spent more time in a hospital than I have since he was born, but I've learned to take it day by day. Things other parents take for granted in their child's development are major celebrations for us.
I can't imagine.
It's taught me to focus on the positive. One of the better symptoms of Angelman syndrome is that he's always smiling and happy. So much sunshine.
Laura shows Emma a picture of him on the home screen on her phone.
Oh, so sweet.
He rarely cries. There's always joy. It's so infectious. More than anything, I want to be with him right now. But my insurance wouldn't cover the special formula he needs to stay alive since he is no longer using his feeding tube. So
Here you are.
it's $45 per can, and he goes through it in a matter of 2 to 3 days.
Why the hell won't insurance cover that?
They don't consider his genetic defect to be a disability.
Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry.
Don't be. Every time I deal with insurance, I say the same thing. As a teacher, we have some of the best health benefits around, but it only goes so far.
You shouldn't be penalized for things you have no control over.
Exactly.
Healthcare should be a basic human right. Luckily, I'm still on my parents' insurance for a bit, so I have a safety net for now. I am not looking forward to that part of adulting.
Adulting. I like it. I didn't realize it had become a verb.
I don't know if the official Merriam-Webster's dictionary has picked it up, but it's one of my favorites.
This English teacher approves. Why don't you take this one?
The man enters and approaches the counter. Emma takes her position at the counter. Laura continues to clean up.
Hey, sir, what can I get for you?
The man silently points to a cookie on the shelf.
Anything else?
The man shakes his head no and hands her exact change.
Exact change is always appreciated. Thank you so much.
The man grumbles something under his breath and leaves.
You're welcome wouldn't kill you.
Try not to take it too personally. It's not worth it.
I just feel so invisible sometimes.
Like Taylor Swift. You gotta shake it off, shake it off.
Did you seriously just make that reference?
I'm not that old.
Thanks, Ms. Laura.
Anytime, Emma.
I can say this now that you're not my teacher anymore and it won't come off like I'm sucking up to you. You're my favorite.
You're my favorite suck up.
Is that my new nickname?
Perhaps it should be.
Laura grabs a towel and tosses it to Emma. As Emma begins to clean, a strange, rapid popping noise in the distance grows louder and louder. This should sound the same as intensity as the baby store scene.
Oh my God.
A voice comes over the loudspeaker as there's the sound of people screaming and running past the bake shop in terror.
Everyone, please remain calm. Shelter in place. The police are on their way.
Emma is frozen in fear. Laura calmly grabs Emma and immediately, almost robotically, goes through Alice training, the procedures Laura would go through when she was a teacher for school shooting drills.
Emma, go out the back door.
Emma does as she's instructed, but frantically returns.
There's a delivery truck outside blocking the door. I can't get out.
They cannot evacuate as people are running past the bakery and being struck down in front of the store. Locking down is the last option a teacher would take in this situation. Laura locks the door and hides Emma behind the counter as it becomes clear Emma is too distressed to help create a barricade. Laura is locking and jamming the doors with tables and chairs.
Laura, what can I do?
Emma tries to emerge from her safe place behind the counter. Laura gives her a stern look and whispers at her intensely with great authority, still barricading the door.
Emma, stay there. Shh, do not move.
The sound of people running and stumbling past the bake shop continues. Laura continues to jam the door with objects and scans the room for anything to use as a weapon to throw. She grabs a handful of knives and other baking utensils as the shots become louder.
Go figure. This shit happens at my second job and not my first. So fucked up.
Laura crouches behind the counter alongside Emma in preparation for a confrontation. Blackout.
Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Jasmine, this piece every time just chills up my spine. It really is so devastatingly relevant, and just so real. So we're going to go into the feedback session now. The link should be in the chat, and we want to. Would you like to start with your question, Jasmine, or do you want to start with popcorn moments?
Let's just start with popcorn moments, and then we can work to my question where it feels appropriate.
Love it. Okay, so popcorn moments. Everybody, feel free to pop in with that. For me, something that struck me this time was major celebrations, and then moving into focusing on the positive, and he's smiling so much, but just that major celebrations told me so much about that character. It was such a popcorn moment for me. Not like it's such a struggle to get there, but that it's a major celebration when it happens.
Thank you.
I had a popcorn moment, which was when Laura was talking about the struggle that she's going through with the insurance company. And it wasn't so much about like the politics behind that, which is something I resonate with, but it was about like, I work at a barbecue joint, right? As what I'm doing to get by. And I work in the bakery section. And there's a woman there named Tammy who I've like befriended, who's like, 15 years, 20 years older than I. But like we talk about like these everyday like struggles, So I really saw I really saw myself having that conversation with Tammy when she's talking about like how she had to let her dog out to pee and it's cold in her hands, like there was like such a warmth in the specifics of that story that really got me. So I really enjoyed it.
Also about their relationship, I just like the dynamic, and it might be just because it was Miley and Kirsten, but like the fact the teacher and the one who's grown up and they're basically equals now, and that kind of dynamic is always so interesting. It gives me it gives me Mean Girls vibes, with the flair, but it really is. It's so interesting, and you see like the wisdom passed down, and it's so heartfelt, and it plays very well with their relationship in the moment that everything shifts too. And then that paired with the backstory of being the mother and that kind of thing, it flows very well, in a way that, what am I trying to say? In a lot of these pieces, right, you catch people off guard with the shooting, right? And this one, I think it's coming because you've seen it before a little bit, right? And I love that this one feels less caught off guard and like it measured, like I did that on purpose. But oh my gosh, I'm not being eloquent tonight. Do you guys know what I'm saying? It feels full figured and very, very smart structurally. There we go.
Thank you. I gotcha.
All right. Any other popcorn moments? I won't, but wow. I love that line. Don't do the math. I won't, but wow. Brilliant. Devastating.
Too real.
Yeah. How dare you, Jasmine?
Oh, how terrible.
Yeah, so I think we can move on to questions. So this is anywhere that you fell out or anywhere that you were confused. It's just too well structured. It's just too well structured.
I guess like maybe one question I have is Laura's priority of whether or not this event is happening at this job than her first job, to me felt a little like um it felt like it lessened the stakes of the fact that there's a shooting happening, that her commentary on it was about it being at this job and, oh man, oh, I thought this would happen at my other job. I feel like if a person is presented in a situation that dire, the immediate instincts are like, am I safe? Can I leave? How do I make one of those two things happen? And then that's complicated because she has another character here, and then it's like, do I care more about me dying? Do I care more about her living? Can I get her safe? Like, I feel like that's where my mind wanted those stakes to kind of immediately yank them to. And I was kind of taken aback when I started thinking about what was her job, you know, and why is that in the story, and is that necessary information for me?
Miley?
The first time I read it, I agreed with Luis, but then I think it helped, and I don't know if this needs to be said or if it makes more sense in the timeline of the whole play, but when I was talking to Jasmine about what she was going on about all the prep teachers do, and for this, I think teachers in this situation may be more jaded than certain people, and I don't know if that's what you were saying, but I think that's the way I interpret it, is that teachers, because they've just had this hammered in their day-to-day like planning and having to be around it and exposed to it so much, they may be more jaded in this experience than a lot of us when it actually does happen. So it made sense to me, but only after I read it a couple of times and had that backstory.
I want more of that. I want more of that in that whole thing, because that's good.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that connection. So then that makes total sense, and I stand corrected.
I have to be clear. So there you go. Game on, y'all.
Yes, Jen Bradley.
Just got to raise my hand like teacher time. I had one, and I feel like I don't know, but Jazz, I've been with you for a long time through all of the evolutionary process of this work, and it's amazing. I've talked to you about that, how amazing it is. My question, and I don't know if this would have stood out to me before, but the gentleman who comes in second and doesn't say anything and just grumbles, when the chaos erupted, my first thought was that the guy? And I don't know if that is so off base, or if that is an intention, or if I'm just interpreting it wrong. But I know that, can I just say this? I know that it was very important to you to not pay homage to the shooter, as is often done in events like this. And I'm just wondering then if he needs to be someone that we don't see, or we only see from the back, or whatever. But it was almost like this moment where I went, oh, is that the guy? And then I went, oh, it almost humanized it in a way for me. Am I making sense, or is this I feel a little more intimately connected with the piece, I guess. So I don't want to dig too deeply there.
I mean, not to give too much away, he just appears in different ways throughout the entirety of the script, and I'm still working out kinks for sure. So yeah,
awesome.
It's hard to present like the scene on its own with what I'm working on now. So yeah.
I will say that I have asked you this question before, I think specifically about that scene. And so listening to it this time, and I think you would get this sense again, because this is the third scene or fourth scene, you would have already seen those little vignettes of him. there was just something so chilling about a cookie, like such a, you know, and I definitely understand. I think it's really interesting and really important and powerful to not glorify or spend a lot of attention on this person, but there is something so deeply chilling about what nonchalance there is, but right before.
Yeah, I just want another popcorn thing was the fact that he used exact change. I thought was very interesting and very like, ooh, you know, this guy. And it's funny how like we're all talking about how we don't want to pay homage to the people who commit these horrendous acts, and yet they are like where our curiosities go. You know, like all we need is that little cookie buy, and we are like, who the heck is that dude? You know, like it's juicy.
I was going to kind of say that is that almost by having less of him, he almost becomes more interesting. So, because your imagination starts to run.
Yeah.
Your curiosity is spent more time focusing on him. And then, you know, you probably, hopefully you loop back and be like, oh, why am I thinking about him? But,
cool.
Yeah. Were there any other questions for anyone? If not, I think we can talk about a little bit the stage directions, and if anybody has comment about that specifically. I definitely felt that this draft, in terms of a reader of this script, I think would get a lot from, especially once the situation kind of intensified, I think would get a lot of context from these stage directions. And I think for your actors as well, I think those are the type of stage directions that as an actor, I would understand so much behavior from just those few little descriptions. Okay. So I think that you are doing a service both to people who would read as well as to the actors who would be in this scene with what you've done with the stage directions now.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Specifically about the end, because you know at the end of each of these scenes it's so stage direction heavy because it's when the shooting starts and everyone's running by. This time it really stood out to me that I was like, okay, how would that happen? Obviously that's someone else's job and stuff, but it did make me realize that because there is no mention of the people walking around the mall or like people coming in as much, and then it's so heavy at the end, it feels a little unbalanced. Not necessarily that someone's imagination couldn't be like, obviously there's people walking by, but in terms of stage directions and writing, maybe finding that where can that atmosphere pull back in earlier in the piece so that we're feeling it the whole time.
Yeah. I tried to use sound cues. I hope I was okay with that. Like, cause I'm starting to think in that way, Mandy. So yeah, that's really helpful.
Yeah. I was thinking about the people, right? Cause I was thinking if all these people were running by, am I going to see them? Is it going to be a projection? Is it going to just be a sound? Obviously, once again, someone else's job, but I'm curious where those people are earlier and why the hell they don't want a cookie. There's that many of them. I mean, you know what I mean?
All right, great. And yeah, if anybody has any thoughts on development, we already kind of touched on that, I think, a little bit in these other sections, but things that you'd like to see developed further as this piece continues on. Yeah. Miley.
I'm curious if any other, and you don't have to answer this, these are just things I'm excited. One, because I've seen this in many iterations, I'm very excited to see the exact order they flow together and how much you play with the time in the day, or if they're going mostly chronologically, or if you're going around and why. And I'm also curious if any other characters other than the shooter are in more than one and interact in each other's lives during the day. And you don't have to answer if you don't want, but those are things I'm thinking about.
Kirsten.
Yeah, I think we touched on this earlier, but when you told us in rehearsal about like the training that your sister has to go through as a teacher with the Alice drill and everything, and I think it was Mandy that said like I want to hear more about that too. But like I don't know if it necessarily needs to be like in the play that the audience sees, but like as an actor, like I would, and you write a little bit of it in the stage directions, but I feel like that's like a pre-play note, like a author's note before the play or after the play about like the intensity about like being shot with rubber bullets. Like that was like a crazy detail. And maybe that sneaks in the play somewhere, but like I know as an actor, like I would love to like, not that you have to do my research for me, but like that knowing that that's a detail that you know going into this that maybe you'd want to share.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Yeah, I was thinking about putting it in there. So hearing it from you really, it means a lot. So yeah, find a way.
God, that's got me even more curious about, did Emma go through those type of things with Laura?
No,
You know?
they just do it. The teachers just do it. It's actual workshop where they come in and they have a guy in a vest who like shoots them with rubber bullets.
Do they have drills? Was that only at my school where you had active shooter drills too, though? Didn't you
They
do
have drills too. Yeah, they have drills.
Oh man. Too relevant, too real, unfortunately.
Not exactly a feel-good play, y'all.
but a brilliant one nonetheless. But that's our time. I think we should
Thank
move
you very
on.
much, everybody.
But really fabulous work.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to keep seeing that one. So now we are going to move on to our second piece of the evening by Madame Carla Briscoe.
Madam, hey.
I don't know, I had to.
I like it. So this is a parody of those paranormal shows that you might see on like the History Channel or Discovery Channel ID. So it's a parody, it's short. It's pretty straightforward, sort of mockumentary style, but set for the stage rather than on film. Although I do question whether I should just do a digital short of this rather than doing it for the stage. And I will, without further ado, introduce this wonderful cast. We have Todd Butera playing the host. We have Priyanka Krishnan playing Valerie. I'm looking around. Jennifer Bradley is playing Dr. Juanita McDonald. Carolyn Seif is playing the grandmother, and the wonderful Fernando Vieira is going to be reading stage directions. And John Pendergriswold will be playing Stephen. Sorry, I almost left you out, John. And without further ado, Psychic Infants.
Psychic Infants by Carla Briscoe. Note on style. This is parody. It should be done in the style of those paranormal documentary programs. Lights up on a man, host, dressed in suit and tie, center stage, a Rod Sterling type.
Countless parents share an incredible secret. Their babies have psychic abilities. Often feeling frightened and alone, these parents have nowhere to turn. Join us as we examine this growing but seldom discussed phenomenon on a very special episode of Spirit World.
Lights out on host and lights up stage left, where we see a woman, Valerie, holding a baby, pacing back and forth frantically.
Stephen! Christ, Stephen, help me! Shh.
A woman, Dr. Juanita McDonald, crosses down stage as the lights fade on Valerie. Juanita begins addressing the audience directly as a cameraman films her.
Parents often misinterpret the early signs of what paranormal psychologists call sensitives, by which I mean infants, by which I mean babies. Babies that have the uncanny gift of communicating with the dead.
Juanita exits stage right as lights come back on Valerie, now with her husband, Stephen, their baby, Gabriel, in his arms. They're seated on a couch, and address the audience directly as creepy and ominous music plays softly in the background.
The spirits made themselves known.
Almost immediately.
The day he was born at the hospital.
Because people die there.
Lots of people die there.
And as soon as the doctor delivered him,
Gabriel, our son.
he was just screaming.
Sheer terror, near naked terror.
We hear the sounds of Gabriel crying in a far-off room as ominous music plays.
Leave him alone! Leave him alone! The demons, leave him alone.
She crumples over, weeping as Stephen consoles her.
She's exhausted. Baby possession is exhausting when he's not screaming in terror.
Valerie whips up her head.
He's crying.
You've never heard anything like it. The horror, the fear.
We hear some more of your average type baby crying.
You hear it, right? You hear it too?
And they keep him up at night.
The demons.
Oh, he hardly sleeps. He wakes up nearly every hour.
Every hour.
And sometimes a few times a day, he's so horror-stricken, so shaken that
he craps himself.
It's true. He gets a lot of stress diarrhea.
And the smell,
oh God,
the color, it's not normal. It's
unnatural.
Super natural.
Now, I'm no rocket scientist. In fact, I've never even studied science. But it doesn't take someone with a degree or a formal education of any kind to see that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I drifted. Sometimes I drift. All right. Yes. The cry some babies make upon drawing their first breath, that's a sure sign of spiritual possession. It's unnatural. Do dogs bark when they draw their first breath? I don't know. I've never seen the birth of a dog. I'm just asking.
Not all spirits are bad.
True.
My grandmother, Teresa, she plays with him.
She'll hover over him.
Yeah, you can tell she's there because he'll just stare up at nothing and grab at his feet and
hold them, try and lift them up.
Yeah, and she was a cripple, so
So it's obviously his way of communicating that it's her. Also, he smiles when she's there.
And laughs and giggles. He giggles.
You've never seen anything like it.
The baby monitor makes a faint, rather ordinary crackling noise as the baby coos sweetly.
Jesus, that just scared the hell out of me. Did you hear that? Did you get that on tape?
The lights flicker, the lights black out for a second, and then come back on.
Wow.
That was...
20 minutes of solid screaming.
Naked terror.
Demons.
But everything's okay.
We're okay. We're okay.
Valerie has Gabriel propped on her shoulder, caressing his back with her hand as she speaks. Suddenly spits up.
Oh my God. Did he?
He just...
Is it burning through my blouse? Is it burning through my blouse?
Lights switch off the couple and back to Juanita.
There are many signs of spiritual possession. The child may attempt to expel the spirit and or demon from his or her little body by spitting up fluids, for example. The child may throw things, random objects, for no reason, or grab at your hair as if they want to do you injury. The child may crawl away from you, as if drawn to some unseen thing. You may lay the baby down to sleep in one position, and when the child awakes, find him in another.
As a new mother, the first time mother, it's tricky because you're trying to learn what your baby needs and wants, and maybe they're hungry or cranky, or maybe it's the spirit of their grandmother standing at the foot of their crib. It's tricky.
Light shift to baby's room. We see the grandmother standing at the foot of the baby's crib. Creepy music.
I tell you already, I'm not dead. I live here in the basement. And this...
She holds the silver Tiffany's rattle she retrieves from the baby's crib.
This is a no exorcism stick. This is a baby rattle. It's for babies. It's from Tiffany's.
The host from the beginning comes back and rolls the baby in the crib off stage as the grandmother sadly displays the rattle. Blackout.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Carla, that's so funny. Oh.
I'm totally destroyed.
That was really difficult trying not to laugh too hard and show up on John's microphone. Oh man. Okay, so I think we can go straight into popcorn moments. Is Carla here?
I think stressed diarrhea, possessed stress diarrhea. That
The
was
whole
my
changing of the diaper and the crying being an obvious sign of possession was it. I was on the floor.
Miley.
Ooh. I don't know if it's okay. Is it me? Okay. Both of the entrances, the grandmother's entrance and the doctor's entrance, were so great. I was laughing almost immediately when they both started.
Yeah, for me, like Dr. Juanita, like just watching that on Zoom literally felt the exact kind of aesthetic that I wanted, you know, like an old 90s VHS tape of this like crazy expert, you know, who then gets like lost for a second. Oh, I just, you know, and is so honest about it. It was so funny. It was so smart. And like, I totally could see this being like, I love horror films and I love like, there's a mockumentary called Troll Hunter, which is about like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's about these people who go and hunt trolls in Norway. And like, it's a whole like reveal, right? So I totally like see this underground supernatural, like we're gonna get the cutting edge on like what's really happening, you know, the ghost stories and the Bigfoot shows, they never actually show Bigfoot, but we're gonna find it. And then you like meet these people who are the like what's actually there, you know. Oh man, I love it. I want to see more of it. I would watch a whole like 2.5 hours of like a whole arc of all this, hands down. Oh shit, whoops.
I would watch it on stage or on camera for that too. It's got like mad intro to variety show things. Like I'd watch that before a Rocky every Saturday night at midnight. So funny. The I don't know. I've never heard or seen a dog born before.
Todd.
Well, I was going to say, it's not really a popcorn moment. The whole thing's a popcorn moment. But I honestly think, up to you. Yes, you could do it on stage. but this could be short films and episodic. I mean, look how far they've gone with the stupid like zombie crap that just went on for years and years. And this is hysterical. And you could get so much mileage out of episodes, not just the babies, but just it's all paranormal, but it would all be something like totally outrageous. I think it would be absolutely a hoot. I'd be willing to host that. If you want to film that, I would do it. It's
Big
hysterical.
Christopher Guest vibes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
Good.
Christopher
Yes, it's
Guest.
hysterical.
Totally.
Oh, good.
It's a scream.
Max?
Yeah, the grandmother thing really took it to a whole other level for me. And just ending it on that Tiffany thing, that was perfect. That was just, yeah, that was really brilliant.
Yeah, because like you could see the camera being in like some crappy basement and just some woman there with like shit in her teeth, you know, with this crazy rattle. Like this is the real shit. Oh my God, I was dying.
Oh, it really was so funny, Carla. One for me was sensitives, and by sensitives I mean infants, and by infants I mean babies. Just right off the bat, having that so early on in the script is just like, it's such a good signifier for what you can expect, and specifically from that character. I loved it so much.
I don't know if Carla, you wrote in the accent for the grandmother, if that was Carolyn's doing, but it was freaking hilarious too.
Oh man, that was a great reveal. Also, as soon as I saw her, I was like, "Is she dead? Like, is this?" Because that was the moment where I was like, "Is this about to turn into there actually is a ghost?" No. Just absolutely pivot the other way. So funny.
My favorite line of the grandmothers is wistfully, Isa from Tiffany's. It's written in that Italian Lent speech, which I think is so funny.
And I wrote in the accent. It did.
And I'm torn between whether I could see this on stage, yes, and I could see it in a video format. And I feel like so much could be done with lighting and lights up, lights down, blah, blah, blah. But one thing that I love about the husband and wife is the like real life off scene speaking to the camera moments, you know, almost like it's a friend. Well, you know, sometimes when the poopy die, I mean, it's just like, it just reeks in a good way of all of the crap that we see on reality TV. You know, it's like the Rev, the Chrisleys, the family of insanity, the blah, blah. I'm just like, you know, people are like, oh, you don't think you know me, but you don't. And I'm like, I really don't care to. I'm like, this is all going to be faked and scripted. And this just like calls it on it, which makes it even more blatant and funny, I think.
Mandy?
There's a video that's gone viral of Jonathan Frakes from Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction, where he's like, this was totally fabricated. Do you guys remember? If you don't remember that show, and this, that is coming back because it's so nostalgic and it taps into that thing the exact same way this hits. And so I don't know, maybe ride that wave. Make them record it at home this weekend and put it on the internet so you go viral tomorrow.
Our note to you, Carla, is make this right now. We need it. David Gill also texted me, baby possession is exhausting, as one of his favorites, which I definitely agree with. Also, is the spit up burning through my so funny, because all of these, you've done such a good job of so closely tying everything into the reality of what happens. So anybody, I apologize to anybody who hasn't, but anybody who has had a baby spit up on you, it's hot. It is warm. So there's such an attention to detail of all of the little aspects that are grounded in reality and then brought to this heightened level. I love it so much.
Well, just pinning the terror of raising an infant and having no idea what you're doing on demons alone is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so well done that some of us were like, yeah, demons, when it's like, wait a second, maybe it's just a babe. I totally would.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It did take me a minute to be like really sure. Yeah, I think we've already kind of touched on Carla's question a little bit, but if anybody has other thoughts on that, as well as anywhere that you did drop out or any questions that you did have. I wondered a bit about the sort of triple introduction right at the top, it being jumping from the sort of framing device of the host character and then going into the showing the mother and then immediately having a vignette of the scientist. I wondered at the structure there if it was on, just I wondered at why'd I see that first and why'd I see that next, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, so do you think to strike to not have like a host for the?
No,
because most of the don't actually like. It's true. Like structurally, I don't know if it's necessary because most of those shows don't have hosts in that sense. That was sort of like a Twilight Zone-y thing, just a kind of setup. But I don't know if that's actually necessary. So that's a really good note.
For me personally, I really enjoyed the host. It could have something to do with my love of Todd, but I really did enjoy that. It just was the it was really going to the mother, going away from her, and then coming back to the baby. So jumping into that world, jumping into the scientist world, and then jumping right into the baby world again. I wasn't 100% sure of what I was getting from that moment with mom that I needed to have before I met the scientist, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. That totally makes sense.
John?
Yeah, I think piggybacking and disagreeing a little, I think with Jenny, I think it depends stage versus screen. Because I think stage, it might feel like an unnecessary first beat, but I think screen for that like investigation discovery, where they always start with a bunch of like floating heads that they'll get to later, they don't introduce yet to kind of tease out. I feel that vibe, but I don't know stage.
Both. I think you're right. Like the medium matters with this for sure. And this was written obviously for stage because all the stage directions, like I was trying to figure out how could you do this on stage because it seems so much more clearly something that would work. Like you were saying, like as like a digital short is something that you could just like make like put out there just for like, kicks. But I did want to try and like see, can you do like sort of like quick edits or like hard cuts like on stage with lights? I don't know if it would work.
I totally think you could do it on stage, and I think there might be an opportunity with the host like just being having a little bit more of like our camera, basically, just like being the dude who's next to the camera, because a lot of times I thought it was a little not in a bad way because I thoroughly enjoyed it, but just like as a stylistic choice, that it felt like these were a collection of evidence rather than like what Todd was taking us of his findings. And maybe that might be an avenue to explore with a live variation. Because I see something like a cool hybrid. Like I see like an immersive theater, black box, everybody's in there, it's totally dark, everybody's sitting around and the characters are just hiding out in the dark. And then you have the choreographer, the camera guy who has a live feed that can show up so people can like still see what's happening, but it's happening live. So you go to like one dark corner that's decked out with set and everything, and as the light shows up, you have this interaction, this interview.
Hiding in the shadows.
and it's hilarious. And then like, the audience members like, oh my God, that scene happened next to me. And they go to another part of the theater. Like, I feel that.
Up your mind.
Yeah, right.
Let's work on this.
This
Let's
is
do it.
100% up Luis's alley. Mandy and then Natalie.
I was gonna say it's like it almost doesn't need to be sharp either. It very well could work with it if it's not sharp, and it's kind of funny that the spot gets stuck or like is swinging back and forth. Kind of on brand with the piece. I did want to ask. It kind of reiterates what Jenny and John were saying, but I guess sort of. The big question for me is, what's the difference between the host and the scientist? What do each of them bring specifically? And I think that for me is really going to show like where they show up in this. What are their jobs on the show, which shows like where they come in and why.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to speak to the style because I think that, similar to what other people said, I think that you have some choices that you can make to be really specific about what you want. If you're going for theater, I think it's a very interesting choice to try to bring sort of the filmic styles of this genre to the stage, and what does that look like? And I think if you are doing that, you can go farther with it so that you can really dig your typing into that or whatever, however we're going to say that. But because I think that is really interesting if you really just wanted to figure out how this genre can be exploited in a way on stage so that it feels like it's the same and different.
That's great. It's a great point. I think structure is something I have to figure out too. And I was like, the other thing is like, I think I was playing by the rules of sketch, which is like you keep it as short and tight, right? Like 5 pages is long for a sketch actually. So like, I think I was afraid, like there's some part of me that's afraid of expanding it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like I think it's worth like just examining what possibilities are and if it is something that could be. I didn't even think of it as something that could be expanded, but I guess.
Like I feel like there are also devices that you can do that too. If you had a second host, that was on a different part of the theater, so you could have that clip, lights off, bam, here's this other guy, and they're part of a team, finding out shit together, and you can like be able to bounce those tight, sketchy kind of things because. I mean, it's already so good. And like the natural rhythm, timing of it is very fun. But
I think, Carla, the answer here is don't be afraid to expand it because the notes are make it now and make more of it. So
we laugh. I felt so alive.
All right. That is our time. If anybody has other thoughts, please send them in the feedback. So very, very, so good. So funny. Next, we are moving on to our third piece, Maximilian Gill.
Yes, hi. So this play is called 14 Words, and you'll be seeing scene 1 of a 2-scene play. So it's essentially a 1-act play in 2 scenes. And when we get to the end of this scene, it will be basically the midpoint of the larger work, just for some context there. So I shall introduce our cast. Star Kirkland is playing Michelle, Natalie Necafaro is playing Erica, and John Pena Griswold is doing stage directions. And let's get into it. Looking forward to it.
14 Words, a 1-act play by Maximilian Gill. Scene 1.
Lovely. Sorry, guys. What the hell does that mean, Michelle?
I said, I'm going to ask you a favor, but I don't think you'll want to.
And why is that?
Because you don't really get me.
That's the strangest thing you've ever said to me.
Not the strangest.
No, really. I think I've known you long enough.
Don't be so sure.
Come on, I'm your ride or die. You know that. When have I ever let you down?
I can't remember the last time.
I mean, as long as it's a reasonable request.
You wouldn't join my band when we were in school?
You didn't have a band. You just had a keyboard and you couldn't play.
No, but I could sing. So it hurt.
What's going on with you? I mean, seriously. I call you, but you don't have time to talk. You don't want to hang out anymore.
I've been busy.
You've been busy before.
I promise. It's nothing you did.
I know. That's why I'm asking what's wrong with you.
So, that article I've been working on.
Sure.
I'm really deep in it. And when you're deep in something, it's hard to step outside of it even for a little bit, even just for a drink with a friend, you know?
All right. I'm here. Ask me.
First, I want you to meet someone.
Weird timing?
For what?
For setting me up?
I'm not.
Because you never get that right.
I did once.
I dumped that guy, so no, you really didn't.
It's not a setup.
Then what?
I want you to meet Arian Lass.
She sounds charming.
It's a username.
Yeah, I figured.
She's in her 30s, fit, proud of her unblemished European bloodline.
So this is part of your research?
Kind of.
Have you interviewed the woman known as Arian Lass?
Not exactly.
Okay.
He's a sock puppet.
So she's not a real person.
Exactly. A useful profile for getting me into parts of the web that wouldn't welcome someone like me.
You said you were going deep for your article, but this sounds dark.
You have no idea.
So here's a question. If the white supremacist movement is mostly a bunch of men with tiny dicks, wouldn't it be better to use a male sock puppet?
Not if you want the men to talk to you.
Right.
A few months ago, there was a guy upstate who ran an auto body shop. Pretty successful. He had a Trump sign on his lawn at home. A lot of people in that area do. But he was smart enough to keep politics out of his workplace. It turned out that he was connected with a lot of hate groups online, and nobody knew about his secret until he got doxxed.
You?
Well, I just happened to find him on a white nationalist dating site.
They have those?
They have them for everyone, so why not?
Creepy.
Yeah, and Arian Lass was the profile I used to bait him.
I can imagine that profile. Loves long walks on the beach at sunset and ensuring the purity of the white race.
Something like that. At first, I just thought it was an interesting angle for my article. You know, what do neo-Nazis talk about when they talk about love? Our chat started out fairly anonymous, but then he dropped a personal detail. I was curious. I wanted to see if I could find out who he was in the real world. I did. I found his name. Then all I had to do was get it to some people I know, and they put his address, workplace, and other personal details out there.
What happened to him?
His business is tanking. He's a pariah in his town. He moved once, but they tracked him down. And that was me. I put the scent on him.
This is a lot more than just research.
I can move the needle.
But what's the point of doxing when we know who these people are? I mean, we have them on camera storming the Capitol.
For every one of those morons caught on camera, there's hundreds keeping themselves hidden. I won't let them.
This is so not like you.
Feels like me.
No, seriously, what's driving you?
You wouldn't understand.
Tell me.
Sometimes you don't know your purpose, what your purpose is, until you stumble across it.
Okay, sure. I mean, you do you. But it just seems like maybe you lost yourself a little over there on the dark side.
I'm not lost.
Okay. That's good enough for me.
I need to ask you something.
This is the thing I won't do because I don't get you, right?
Yes.
Well, right now I definitely don't get you, but ask me anyway.
First, you have to know about Super Patriot.
Another one of your sock puppets?
No, this one is a real guy.
You're sure?
I've been corresponding with him under my Arian Lass profile.
But wouldn't it be funny if he wasn't real? Like if it was another person like you trying to root out white supremacists, but instead you were both spending your time coming up with racist things to say to each other.
I think he's real.
I guess I'm just seeing the absurd possibilities here.
He has something in the works.
What?
You won't tell me yet. He says it's to protect me, but he says it's big.
And you believe him?
He didn't say anything in the beginning. It took weeks for him to trust me. Slowly, I got it out of him.
Big in what way?
I don't know yet.
So what good is it?
He and his friends could be plotting to kidnap or murder somebody or blow something up or an attack on the state capitol. You never know with people like this.
So report him.
I tried.
And?
The FBI person I spoke to thanked me for the tip, and that was it.
Let me guess, because they probably get thousands of reports like this, and you don't have anything in any way specific.
Exposing this guy could save lives. It's that real.
Fine. Dox him.
They're getting more cautious. The auto shop guy gave me what I needed without asking for anything. That's not working anymore.
So what does he want?
Well, first a picture.
Of Aryan Lass.
What else?
Yeah, that's not a good way to stay anonymous online.
Nope. Plus a picture of me won't work.
Even I know that much.
He'll need someone way more Ava Braun looking.
Good luck.
Someone who fits his image of a white European womanhood.
Have fun.
Someone like you.
Fuck no.
Listen to me.
Okay. Just pull something off the web.
Well, any pic from the web could be traced. It has to be a picture I take myself.
What if he sends it to all his brown shirt friends?
I don't think he'd do that.
How do you know?
There's some kind of a connection.
Where?
Between him and Aryan Lass.
You mean between him and you?
Between him and who he thinks I am.
You're saying he's fallen for you?
Something like that.
How much like that?
I told you, it took a long time to win his trust.
All right. So you send him a picture and he sends you one of his, as that's what's supposed to happen?
Not exactly.
Then what?
I need more than a picture.
Okay.
He wants to meet Aryan Lass in person.
And how's that? Oh, no. No way.
It wouldn't be a long meeting.
You want me to go on a blind date with a Nazi?
Not a date.
And sounds like a date.
It'll be a public place.
It's still a date.
It's not like you have to hang out with him all night.
Why would I hang out with him at all?
You just need to work him a little. Try to get his real name, personal details.
Forget it.
Come on, Erica, it's not a big deal.
It actually is.
I would do it if I could, but I can't.
I can't either.
Why not?
Are you thinking this through?
It's for a good cause.
I'm there for good causes. I give money. I phone banked. You know how many BLM marches I sweated through last summer, but this? No.
Please help me out.
Get someone else who fits the profile.
Who do I know as white as you are?
Not my fault your friend base is too diverse.
I can't just ask anybody to do this.
You shouldn't ask me either.
I knew you wouldn't understand.
I'm really trying.
Listen to me. Okay, I sent him your picture. I keep the correspondence going a little longer. You can see all of it so you can get to know Aryan Lass, how she talks, what she's like. I'll coach you on how to channel her persona.
Some kind of freaky white supremacist Cyrano de Bergerac thing? I don't think so.
So you won't do it?
Of course I won't. What's wrong with you?
What is wrong with me?
Yeah, tell me. Tell me where this is coming from.
Do you think that people can really understand each other?
Don't we have to?
All right, here it is. you walk around and you wonder what people really think because we can't really know. Assuming the best of everyone, that's a great strategy. Should be enough. It should get you far. You believe the smiles. You believe that everyone is just basically decent. As long as you're cool with them, they'll be cool with you. That should work, right? They say it comes from evolutionary psychology, and that never let anyone down, except all the times it did. Sometimes that hint comes in. You get a glimmer of what they really think. You see these videos of people just absolutely losing their shit, every racist cliche coming out. Now, you know they're smart enough to keep all that inside in public. But they look right into the camera and they just spew. They're just reveling in it, all the hate. They're so into it. And afterwards, they always say, oh, that's not me. I don't know who that is, but it's not me. Well, if that's not you, then who are you? I have no idea. Are you the nice one handing me my morning coffee? Or are you the one who gives me a dirty look after I apologize about accidentally bumping into you on the subway? What's really behind that look? Were you just having a bad day? Like everybody else has a bad day? Are you just a minute away from yelling at me, from shooting me, from going into the voting booth and punching your ballot for someone who wants to take away my rights? It used to be so easy to know what people thought. They told you and then you knew which ones to stay away from. Now they have the burden of shame. So it comes out so insane when it does come out. And they infest all these spaces online. I'm seeing them now. I'm seeing every little joke. It's like this other world, this inverted place where kind thoughts are considered cowardly, where acceptance is treason, tasteless jokes are comforting, diversity is genocide. And I've wandered around that world so much that I start wondering, which one's real? Am I out here living a lie? I mean, how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know unless I drag every one of them into the light where they'll either shrivel up and die or they'll win? And if that happens, then I'll know I'll never belong here. But until then, I won't know because I can't get them. I can't wrap my head around their hate. So what do I do? Do you understand that?
I do.
No, I mean, do you understand it as a thing I'm explaining to you, or do you really feel what it's like to be in here with me?
I don't think anyone's ever asked me that.
It's important.
I'm doing my best to feel it like you do.
If you don't feel it, you're not there.
Give me a chance.
Okay.
After saying that, I have to do what I want, what you want, don't I?
You decide.
It won't be enough for you.
It's a start.
Okay. Fine. I'll do it.
End of scene.
Wow. Wow, Max. That was so beautiful and brilliant.
Thank you.
Did you have any specific questions you'd like us to guide to for our feedback, or would you just like the general feedback?
Yeah, this is very new, so I think just general would be just fine.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we'll start with popcorn moments. I mean, for me, this doesn't seem like you. Well, it feels like me. That was a popcorn moment for me of, yeah, telling someone who they are, even as a friend, especially as a friend, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Mark?
Maybe same speech. It used to be so easy to know what everybody thought. I mean, wow. And that whole monologue, Max, just resonates and is so topical. And I want to applaud you for taking on a subject that's so topical and yet personalizing it in a relationship and having, you know, all the ramifications of the relationship, political and otherwise, are coming out of the personal relationship is really well done.
Jen.
I hope I say this like I want to say it. I hope I don't have like a brain fart or something. To me, I really felt such an intense connection between Michelle and Erica when Michelle was explaining, you know, what's going on and how she feels and what her experience is, and asking, are you there? You know, are you here with me? Do you feel this? And then the fact that Erica was like, yeah, but not the same. And how Michelle was like, well, it's something. And it was like this really, and then there was another set of lines that I can't remember, but it was this really interesting moments of trying to reach across the divide and help someone who is not in that situation understand and feel it, and yet knowing that no matter how bad you want it or want for that person, that you can't manufacture it. So there's like a beautiful moment of compromise and willing to go forward together in experience, you know, in growing and understanding. I mean, it sounds so trite when I say it. I wish there were different words, but I just really felt that connection between the two of them and the love of the friendship, but really felt that trying to get there, which was great, I thought.
Yeah, Carla, did you have your hand raised?
I didn't, but I have, I mean, I have plenty to say. I thought it was really fantastic. And I, as others have said, the monologue was so powerful. I just, the premise of it, I love, like, I love the premise of the piece, this idea that she is like hunting down these guys through a dating, like what, like that is, that took me in immediately because I thought how brilliant that is. And then, you know, I think that the dialogue is so real and true to life. And I think that the friendship as well, and that kind of touching on what Jennifer said, this sort of like insurmountable obstacle of lived experience, right? That no matter how good a friend, how strong the friendship is, this moment sort of tests it. I mean, I'm also sort of tongue-tied because it was so powerful. But I commend you for the writing, the premise, the dynamics between, and I'm curious, I was like, is this going to be a two-hander? Is this, like, I loved the fact that there were just two of them, the intimacy of the piece. And I wondered whether it would continue to be just that, with sort of alluding to these experiences and alluding to whether, like, you know, if she says she's going to do this, that she's going to like put her face on Arian Lass and like take this on, and the mind kind of goes like, okay, the possibilities there dramatically are huge, right? If she does that, because I mean, any number of things could happen as a result of that to her if she is identified, if that face becomes if that identity is actually really attached to her. So yeah, like, I'm really intrigued by the dramatic possibilities. I love the dialogue. I love the friendship. Part of me doesn't want the world to expand beyond them. To be, I kind of want the outside circumstances to continue to be contained in them, but I don't know if that's what you're intending to do. So that's what.
Luis?
Yeah, I second a lot of what Carla was saying. A popcorn moment for me was this neo-Nazi Cyrano de Bergerac. I thought that was a deep cut, man. I really respected that one. Yeah, I love the premise. You know, it's funny because I was thinking about the thing that I wrote about the dude. I was like, oh, I'm going to this protest, and like, so these politically like charged pieces of art that are coming out are like so great, because who doesn't have that fantasy of being like, I'm going to be the one that goes online and gets them, I'm going to be the Avenger. And I love that, like, Michelle is like that hero that we're rooting for, and we want her friend to be part of that team, to be like, yeah, like, let's go get them. But also, like, we recognize that we're dealing with some like fucked up people, man, that could, like, if they catch you, like, that is a real, and it's about Michelle. That was like so great, because I thought the tension of it was, and I know we're maybe not math people here, but it was like a logarithmic graph where it starts off, and then kind of zoops up towards the end, because I thought, oh, I'm getting the premise, like, I'm hooked. And then I also thought, so like, why is this phone call like happening other than to tell her what's up? And then it's like, oh, she needs her. And I was like, oh man, well, now you put it in the situation, and now we go into an amazing monologue about like the wordplay of how diversity is genocide, like, or how good things, kind words are weakness, like, it was almost dare I say Shakespearean, in the way that the simplicity of those words just juxtaposed just brought up so much depth to them, and it got me really excited for like where are we gonna enter, what part of the story we're gonna see next. Is it gonna be like the date? Is it gonna be like after the date? Is it gonna be like, who knows,
Mm-hmm.
or like, will her friend have changed into a neo-Nazi?
Oh god.
Like, because like she got sucked in, and then like it flips on her now. Like, I'm so into it. I'm ready for part 2.
Mary Elena, you're on mute.
I was just recently listening to an interview with a woman that, as a young girl, was assigned or volunteered to go undercover as a spy and smoke out Nazis in Nazi Germany, and would basically like bed them and kill them. And I think that she just passed away recently. She was like 100 something. I don't know. But I just remember when I was listening to her telling her story, I just kept thinking, how does that happen? How do you fall into that line of work? And the dangers that would be involved, and the repercussions and the consequences of it bleeding into the rest of your life and endangering your family and your other loved ones and all of these things. And I couldn't help thinking, with everything going on, what would that look like today, as opposed to back then, with just culturally. And this is such a fascinating window into that, Max, and I so appreciate this glimpse of what the possibilities of what that might be, and how the dangers are the same and how the dangers are different, and the risks, and just we like he said, we all have these sort of fantasies as we're going through these times and horrible reminders of what's going on under the rocks, on the underbelly of our country, and it's rising up, and being called to rise up, and under the illusion that it has power, and it's terrifying for us, of course, and we all have those fantasies of wanting to jump in and save the day, and to see this young woman really trying to make that happen is so inspiring and terrifying in the same breath. And it's really fascinating to see you drawing all of these possibilities out on paper. And with such great actors. So that, yeah, I mean, that was all. It was all popcorn for me.
Yeah.
Sorry to ramble, but
no, it's a very powerful piece, Max. I think that's really the general consensus. We do need to move on, but I'm selfishly going to just say one more thing. Forgive me, everyone. But I really appreciated something that I think people are kind of talking about, but I think something that you are being very delicate with, and not necessarily hammering on the head. But what I feel is a very strong through line here is the idea of personal risk and who has the option. So the idea that Michelle is taking this risk when she is already a Black woman and does not have the option to not take the risk when she's outside every single day, and that her friend really is very resistant, that Erica is very resistant, and that doesn't sound like you. Wow, you're really going to the dark side. Wow, okay. But then that Michelle kind of gradually brings her there to the sense of the fact that you're trying to decide if this is a risk worth taking is a choice that you have. I think you've done it so beautifully in this friendship. Again, like I said, I don't think it feels like you're hammering the point from the beginning or anything like that. It really feels like a beautiful exploration of how these two friends would engage with that fact together. But I really appreciate that through line, that very truthful through line of who has the option to risk and who doesn't.
And what that means,
Yeah. And what that looks like, and what that looks like today. I would highly recommend, if anybody has more thoughts, or please send the feedback form. I'll continue talking about it for everyone, but I feel like this is one that will definitely continue to resonate with people as we sit with it. Thank you so much, Max. So we are moving on to our fourth piece, Perrin Pomado, and many, many actors to the stage.
Yes. Yeah, so this is, I brought in other episodes from the previous season of the web series that I wrote about my job as a standardized patient. So this is the first episode of the second season. I don't think there's anything to really explain or introduce except the actors. So Maria is playing Monica Ray, Joy is playing Mandy Murphy, Penelope, or I'm sorry, Joy. Mandy Murphy's playing Joy. I'm like, yeah, anyway. Penelope is played by Kat Plazas. Madeline is played by Maria Elena O'Brien. Mabel is being played by Helene Gallick. David is being played by Mark Hoffmeyer. Preston is being played by Randall Rodriguez. Doctors Sikorsky, Hassenpfeffer, and Jackson are being played by Jennifer Elizabeth Bradley, and Drs. Samuel Feinberg and Stevens are being played by Evan Edwards. And stage directions are John Pena Griswold, who I will let take it away.
Before you do, the host has disabled my video and I can't turn my camera on.
You can't turn your camera on?
Just one moment, I'll fix that.
I don't know why you disabled just mine, but whatever.
I know why.
Okay, you should have that available to you now. Perfect.
Good to go.
All
right.
All right, great.
This encounter may now begin. Season 2, Episode 1 by Perrin Pomado. Interior, SP Lounge Day. Preston reads the paper. David is doing the warrior pose in front of the refrigerator. Penelope sips tea by the counter.
nice, David. Good form.
I am a warrior. I am a warrior.
But not a singer.
Preston, look, don't listen to him, David.
I rarely do.
Which is why you're left doing yoga in a break room.
Come on, David. I'll join you.
Penelope stands by David and does the triangle. David lays on the floor and goes into the bridge position. Mabel enters.
Whoa, what do we got here? A twister gang? Count me in.
Mabel straddles David.
Hey, now, where should my hands go?
Mabel, get off of me.
Mabel, ew, your crotch is right in my face.
David worms his way from between Mabel's legs.
Just trying to do some pre-shift warm-ups. Jesus.
Well, I'm warm now because that was hot.
Why does everything have to be about sex with you?
Me. I'm not the one who hopped onto a coworker while screaming, "Where should my hands go?" It was like a walking HR nightmare.
Maria enters.
Hell is going on in here? Get off the floor. That's nasty.
You have no idea.
Where are the others?
Maria goes to the door.
Madeline! Joy! Meeting!
We were just doing some pre-shift yoga to warm up.
Mabel thought it was a game of Twister.
Of course she did. Yo, Madeline!
Joy appears to Maria's right. Maria turns to right.
Joy! Oh! Get in here. We are having a meeting. Where's Madeline?
She should be here soon.
Madeline runs up to Maria.
Here I am. I'm sorry. Bio break.
You haven't even started working yet and you need a break?
No, that's just another way to say, you know, nature's calling.
You know, your name is supposed to be on your phone at work.
No, that's not what I.
She was peeing, all right? Now, can we get on with the meeting?
Well, then just say that. Bio, schmio.
Sorry.
Anyhow, we only got a few minutes before we get started, so listen up. Things have been going great with this new client, and word is spreading like wildfire. We're getting calls from schools all over the place, so congrats.
That's amazing, Maria.
Diggity damn.
Of course, that also means we're going to need more of you folks to cover the extra shifts.
Excuse me?
We're going to be running programs almost every day now. We can't just count on you guys to fill up all those shifts.
Oh, what do you mean you can't just count on us? Why do you think all these schools are calling? Because of us. You can't mess with that.
Bad juju.
Yeah, like the black ones? I hate them.
Okay. Now, we're holding auditions next week if you know anyone who would be interested.
Hey, so you want us to find our replacements for you?
Look, you all work other places, get acting gigs. What am I supposed to do, huh? Just close the center whenever enough of you aren't available? Get a grip. No one's losing their job yet.
And by yet, you mean?
Yet. I ain't hired anyone or trained them. It's gonna take time. Down the road, we'll see. Maybe the younger folks might be able to remember their cases better.
What are you talking about? Us old folks remember our cases just fine. Don't we, David?
Who are you calling old? I was just doing yoga 10 minutes ago, remember?
Probably not.
Preston, not helpful. Who doesn't remember their cases?
Oh, I don't know. But when a student writes in their notes that the patient has gonorrhea when the diagnosis is pink eye, kind of makes you wonder.
I had an itch, okay? I just went with it.
And as a result, that student failed. Not okay. Makes us look bad. Your title is standardized patient. Standardized. You know what that means? The same. Every student is supposed to get the same information, same demeanor, the same. Got it? I'll take that as a yes. Now, just to double check, go read your case when I call your name.
Maria pulls the case list off the wall.
David Stevenson, Bell's palsy.
Don't worry. This not so old man has got this case down.
David exits. Maria yells after him down the hall.
Try not to actually give yourself a stroke. Our workers' comp sucks. Mabel, Juniper, schizophrenia.
Oh, you know I can do this. Did you hear that? The microwave singing, "Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof. Oh God, the dogs! Help! Help!"
Mabel runs out of the room.
You know what? The rest of you just get to your rooms and read your damn cases.
Instead of gallstones, can I just be galled in general?
If that's part of your case.
Preston exits. Maria puts the cast list back on the wall. Interior hallway. Mabel's running up and down the hall, pounding on the other SP's exam room doors. Preston enters.
You are.
Hey, you know you aren't actually schizophrenic, or are you?
Maybe. We are in an insane asylum.
I can't argue with that.
Joy, Madeline, David, Penelope. What are you guys doing?
Would you mind being quiet? I'm trying to focus on my facial stretches so my face doesn't get stuck like this. The rest of the day.
You know that's an old wives' tale.
Well, he's got an old wife, so.
Hey, she's younger than you are.
David slams the door.
Wait, no. We have to talk about this audition business.
Penelope opens her door.
Mabel, it'll be fine.
That's easy for you to say. You're young and pretty and can remember all the details of your cases. But I make one little mistake and...
Oh, hey, you turned a pink eye case into an STD.
They both itch.
So does wool. But if I'm itching down there, it's not because I fucked a sheep.
That's not what I heard.
I did not fuck a sheep. It was Halloween. She was in a lamb costume. Christ, how many times do I have to explain this?
Was the condom lamb skinned?
Oh, God. You know what? Fuck you both.
Preston heads into his room. Joy and Madeline open their doors. Madeline is jogging in place.
Could you please keep it down? Depression is hard for me. I'm trying to plumb the depths of my despair here.
How about plumbing the depths of my despair?
I thought you were schizophrenic today.
I'm talking about them replacing us.
It'll be fine. You heard what Maria said. Oh God, I'm sorry. I can't talk.
So stand still.
I can't. I'm hyperthyroid, so I need to be like hot and sweaty for the encounters, which are starting in
2 minutes. 2 minutes to showtime, folks. 2 minutes.
Well, that made me more depressed. Look, Mabel, I know, I get it. No matter what we do for this place, they're always going to try to find someone younger and cheaper. We'll figure it out. Now, excuse me, I have some emergency Enya on my phone, and I really need to get me in the mood.
Joy closes her door.
What she said. We'll talk during the break.
Madeline closes her door. Mabel goes to her room and closes the door. Interior, Mabel's exam room. Mabel grabs her phone off the counter, begins texting.
Agency meeting on 9:30. Lounge. Sent.
Interior, David's exam room. David is making faces in the mirror. His phone plays the charge sound. Startled, he reaches for it, knocking it into the trash.
Oh my God. Seriously?
He reaches in and pulls his phone out. It's dripping.
Who put a full cup of coffee in the trash?
Interior, Joy's exam room. Joy is sitting in the lotus position, holding her phone.
Turn that smile upside down. Turn that smile upside down.
Her phone vibrates.
For Christ's sake. Mabel, oh, now I have to start all over.
Doctors are lining up. SPs, please prepare.
Joy hops on the hospital bed, plays Enya on her phone again.
Turn that smile upside down. Turn that smile upside down.
Interior, Madeline's exam room. Madeline is doing jumping jacks in front of the mirror.
What do I have to do to get like a sweat on? Damn you, strangely barren pores.
Madeline grabs a spray bottle, begins spraying herself with water.
This encounter may now begin.
Oh, shit.
Madeline sprays more rapidly, still not getting the effect she wants. Madeline opens the spray bottle and dumps all of the contents all over her head.
Come in.
Madeline begins pacing the room. Dr. Feinberg enters.
Good morning, Miss Jones.
Good morning.
Now I can see you're really hot.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
Sorry? Yeah, I didn't mean...
Oh, so I'm not hot.
I just meant you look like you're, temperaturely challenged.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Dr. Feinberg. Who are you?
You don't know who I am?
No, I do. Miss Jones? How would you like to be addressed?
Samantha.
Samantha. Samantha Jones? Like...
Yes, but not like. You hear me? So don't get any ideas, Mr. Oh, I see you're hot.
Dr. Feinberg notices her gown has become see-through from the water. Madeline pulls her gown away from her chest. Interior, Mabel room, exam room. Dr. Hassenpfeifer is looking around the room for Mabel.
Hello? Anybody here? I'm Dr. Emily Hassenpfeffer. I'm here to help you.
Dr. Hassenpfeffer goes to the side of the exam table where Mabel is hiding. Mabel runs out of the other side. Mabel runs to the other side.
Who are you? Are you coming to take me away? They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. Hee hee. Ha 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 ha. And that's the name of the game.
I'm not coming to take you away. I'm Dr. Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer. Oh, like Laverne and Shirley. Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hassenpfeffer Incorporated.
Okay. I'm your doctor. I just want to talk.
That's what they all say.
Who?
They. And they.
Interior, Penelope's exam room. Penelope sits on the bed, squirming in obvious discomfort. Dr. Samuel is sitting on a stool.
How can I help you?
I'm having explosive diarrhea.
David's exam room.
My face is really messed up.
Preston's exam room.
My stomach is killing me.
Joey's exam room.
I'm sad. I'm just sad all the time.
Dr. Jackson looks around, sees a box of tissues. Dr. Jackson throws the box of tissues at Joy. They hit her in the face and fall on the ground.
Sorry.
Penelope's exam room.
Can you tell me more about that?
Penelope gets off the table and starts squirming about.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's going on?
It's my don't poo-poo dance where I'm going. I think we're gonna just have to make this very quick.
Control room. Maria puts headphones on and cues up the monitor.
All right, cue the magic.
Turns monitor to David's exam room. David's exam room. Dr. Sikorsky stands in front of David.
Me want physical now.
You want physical? I want a physical. I think I had a stroke.
Yes, stroke.
Yes, I had a stroke. Oh my God. Why are you smiling? You just told me I had a stroke. Am I gonna die?
You smile.
What? Why should I smile?
You're like this.
Why are you? What, are you kidding me?
Here,
Dr. Sikorsky tries to grab David's face to make him smile.
Oh my God, get off of me!
Control room.
What? No hitting the doctors!
Preston's exam room. Preston is lying on the exam table with his abdomen exposed. Dr. Stevens, 30s male, is listening to his abdomen with his stethoscope. As he does this, he places his hand on Preston's crotch, close up on Preston's face.
Sorry.
Yeah. Was that good for you?
I didn't realize.
You didn't realize? Oh, ow. That's good for the self-esteem. I mean, I'm not a porn star or anything, but
I think you have gallstones.
Control room. Preston's exam room is on the monitor.
yeah, pretty sure those weren't the stones you were just feeling now, huh?
Maria slams her head onto the keyboard. Mabel's exam room.
So, you hear voices.
Yes. They're everywhere. They come from the bed and from the walls and even this little thing.
That's a phone. Voices are supposed to come through that.
They even type little messages on it for me.
Yeah, those are called texts.
Wait, except now. Oh no, and I really want to show you something that there's nothing. Well, maybe I should send them a message and then they'll respond and you'll see that I'm not crazy.
Mabel types furiously. On screen, we see, please respond. Need to meet during break. Control room.
Is she texting? Oh, girl.
Joy's exam room. Joy blows her nose hard. She looks for a place to throw tissues. She throws the tissue on the floor. Her phone dings.
Did you want to talk to me? Here, let me take that.
Dr. Jackson goes to take Joy's phone.
No, I need it. My husband said he'd be checking in on me.
Oh, was that your husband?
No, just an annoying coworker. She thinks she's going to get replaced and expects me to just come to the rescue because that's what I do. I just go to the rescue for everyone. But does anyone ever come to the rescue for me? No.
You think that's why you're sad?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but mostly it just makes me mad. Mad.
Control room.
That Enya ain't working. Fuck! Now I'm getting mad.
Timer beeps.
2 minutes remaining in the encounter. 2 minutes.
Penelope's exam room. Dr. Samuel is pressing on her abdomen.
Ow. 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 I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I told you we needed to be quick. Oh my God. Oh my God, I think I sharted.
This encounter is over. Doctors, please leave the room. SPs, please meet me in the lounge.
Dr. Samuel runs from the room. SP Lounge. Maria enters.
What's up, Maria?
Is this going to take long? We have to write our notes, you know. And I have a lot of notes.
You have a lot of notes, really, because I've got some notes for you too. Like, how about not hitting the doctors?
Oh, she was trying to grab my face.
I don't care if she was trying to grab your.
Oh, I got that one covered.
Oh, right, Mr. Porn Star. Was it good for you?
Not really.
Too bad. Probably more action than you've gotten in a year.
Oh, you want to get in on this too? How about texting in the middle of an encounter?
I was texting to my voices.
I don't care if you were texting to the man on the moon. You don't text during an encounter.
Maria, I mean, this morning with everything you said, it's thrown us off our game. It's just a very messy situation.
Not as messy as you shitting yourself.
Ew, Penelope.
Are you kidding me? Is that what I smell?
There is no smell. I did not shit myself. It's a whoopee cushion.
Likely story.
It is. I keep it under my pillow. I have explosive diarrhea, remember?
Probably from all that curry you eat.
In the case. The case. I do not have diarrhea and I did not shit myself. See?
Penelope turns around to show her rear end.
Maria, I just think people have a right to be mad.
Mad or mad, 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 mad!
Seriously? After everything we put up with around here, I just had another doctor hit on me. I might as well work for Hooters. At least then I'd get tipped after.
You want a tip? Stop spraying yourself with so much water. You look like you entered a wet t-shirt contest.
All we want is some appreciation and a sense that what we do matters around here. Is that too much?
I clapped for you, didn't I?
And then asked us to provide you with cheaper, younger versions of ourselves so you can put us out to pasture.
It was just a suggestion, okay? Thought you'd like to work with your friends. And I'd like not to sit through hours of shitty auditions.
So, why not let us sit through hours of shitty auditions?
We're actors. We spend our lives sitting through shitty auditions.
Yeah, usually your own.
No way.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. We handle the open call, then you pick from the rest.
Oh, I already have ideas for games. We could make them play. Give me your best monologue, but do it with appendicitis.
To be or not to be. Oh, what?
Preston falls to the floor.
Or like a mammoth monologue, only you have Tourette's.
Nothing to tell.
Please, Maria, it would mean so much to all of us. And it would give you more free time to do whatever it is you do outside of here or here or whatever.
Fine. If it will get us through the rest of this shift and this week without any more crazy, we'll go for it.
Yay!
But not all of you. Joy, your idea, so you handle it.
Wait. It was my idea.
Joy begged better.
I can beg. Please, Maria, can I do the auditions?
No.
I do need an assistant.
Fine, pick, but not Mabel, David, or Preston.
Why not me?
Yeah, I don't know, porn star.
I said I wasn't a porn star. I mean, I tried once, but they said my acting was too good.
I'm sure. Joy?
Okay, then Madeline, you said you had ideas.
So exciting. No spray bottles though, okay, for you. If you want to chase the auditioners away with one, that's your call.
I have ideas too. You gonna put a whoopee cushion on their chair? Oh, it's in the case. Give it a rest.
Fine, whatever. We have a shift to finish, and you better believe you're SPing for your motherfucking lives from now on. Let's go.
Penelope hugs Maria.
Thank you.
Get off me. And stop with the whoopee cushion. Doctors talk. Don't need him thinking there's an SP with shitty underwear in room 5.
Hallway. Mabel grabs Joy's arm as she's about to enter the room.
Hey, I got some ideas too.
Okay, we can talk about them later.
Great. I know just how to fuck all this up. No one replaces Mabel.
End of scene.
So good. So much fun. All right. Unfortunately, we've kind of reached our time limit already just with those fabulous pages. So I don't want to spend too long. Mally, if you wouldn't mind putting the feedback form in the Zoom chat so that we can kind of talk there. And maybe if we can just do like rapid fire popcorn moments. David.
It was all popcorn. Oh my God. From the strangely barren pores to the emergency Enya to sharding to best monologue with appendicitis. I've been on this ride from the beginning and I love these characters in this whole series. It just gets me every time. I mean, I was scream laughing. And I wasn't getting the alert on my Zoom saying, you're muted. And I was afraid I wasn't. Yeah. Love it, Baron.
Thank you very much.
Monica and then Kirsten.
Yeah, when Maria's quiet for a while and I was able just to watch, I should have been on mute because I was swallowing laughter. It was so funny seeing like this mess is happening in this room and then this one and everything was just so well written, just the right amount of setup and then boom, this really great punch and then quick cut to the next room. Just a series of really funny scenes. I was thoroughly amused, unlike my character Maria. It was really.
I was not on mute and I almost lost it when Mandy did the fart sound.
Yeah.
I did lose it.
I almost lost it when
that was a good one. Yeah, Kat, I was feeling for you. I was like, she's gonna break.
On my special skill.
Sorry, Kirsten next.
I love all the pre-existing relationships between these characters. Like even if you hadn't seen this series before, you're jumping right in there and like just exactly what the relationships are from just a few lines of them acting with each other. Like I did not fuck a sheep. For how many times do I need to tell you? And I love like the details of like there's a charge sound for David's phone. Like it just tells you so much about those characters. So Perrin, I love this piece and I can't wait for it to actually be made so that it could be the pace that it needs to be, which you can't ever achieve in a reading where there's stage directions and especially not over Zoom. But like you guys, all you actors are so amazing. I was laughing at you so much.
Thank you. And yes, and thank you, actors. They were amazing.
Jasmine, did you have your hand raised? Oh, no, sorry.
It was Mandy.
Oh, Mandy.
I didn't totally raise it. I pulled a Todd. Love you, Todd. It's such a good season 2 opener because it starts off kind of there and then it's just like, boom, welcome back. It's very well structured for a premiere.
All right. Any more popcorn moments and any more thoughts, questions, or further development, please send them on the Google form for the feedback. That was so much fun. Thank you so much, Perrin, for bringing that in.
Thank you.
And last but no one's least, we have David Michael Kirby.
Hey. This is a brand new work. It's the opening scene. I've titled it The Book of Jericho. So since it's the beginning, I'm not going to say too much about it, except I'm thrilled to have the actors that I had in mind while I was reading it. The idea came from a prompt I got in David Adam Gill's writing class, which has been a really phenomenal experience for me because it's got me stretching my storytelling and my thoughts. I mean, there are parts of this you will definitely recognize my style, those of you who are familiar. But at the same time, I think overall it's something completely different, and I'm excited about it. And David told me he was excited about it, so I'm excited to see what happens tonight. My actors, I have Andrew Griffin playing Josh Novak, and Luis Alberto Quintero, yes, playing Mac. You'll find out his full name as we go through the scene, and then Fernando Vieira reading stage direction. So take it away, guys.
All right, The Book of Jericho by David Michael Kirby. Scene 1. Time, 3:30 a.m., early June 2020. Place, Police Station Holding Room, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Lights up. Sean Miguel McHenry, 22, and Josh Novak, 19, sit together on a bench in a police precinct holding room. The door out of the room is a downstage center through the fourth wall. Sean Miguel wears a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. His cheek is bruised with a spot of dry blood. Josh is decked out in some weird combination of red, white, and blue, a red MAGA hat, and an old fur coat on top of it all. Both young men are in zip-tie handcuffs, hands in front of them. Neither wants to sit next to each other. But this is where the arresting officer placed them, making it absolutely clear not to move a muscle. Max steals glances at Josh. Josh stares straight ahead. The tension, the heat, the silence are all tangible and oppressive until...
Dude, I'm sorry, but can I ask you a question? Other than that one, obviously. I guess I should say, can I ask you another question? Since my opening remark is a question. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Why are you wearing that that Wookiee belt? It's June. You must be burning up. You know you'll give yourself heat stroke if you haven't already. You should really take it off.
Can't.
What?
I can't.
Why not?
Cuffs.
What?
Cuffs, handcuffs. Cop put them on before I could take the damn coat off.
Man, that sucks.
I knew I should have worn it like a cape. Afraid it would fall off. Dead if I lose it.
Yeah, all right, I hear you, but why? Why wear the damn thing in the first place?
Not my idea.
Yeah, then whose idea was it?
Dad, I don't want to wear this shit. I don't want to be here.
Oh.
Dad's a 3%er and an oath keeper. Trump all the way.
Ah.
Hell, he'll probably join the QAnon choir too. What do I know? Rabid Trump pansy. He made me come.
How old are you?
19. Yesterday.
Happy birthday?
Dad says, "You're a man now. Act like it."
Sorry, that's shitty.
I've never felt less like a man in my whole life.
I don't know what to say. Sorry.
I'll kick you to the curb if you don't take a stand. Make something of yourself, you little twat. It's about damn time. He's a fucking cliche.
Where is he now?
No fucking clue. Once we got here, I tried to walk away. I told him point blank, I don't want to be here. You do. But he grabbed my arm and threw me against the wall. Spoke to me in that calm, quiet voice that lets you know he's angrier than he's ever been. A voice that makes me shit my pants. Said it was time to get to work, no matter what. He wants me to be just like him. You're my mini-me soldier, my second in command, JJ, and you will follow my orders, he said. Said if we got separated, meet at his truck by midnight. Said if I wasn't there, he'd leave without me. I got away from him 20 minutes later. And all I have ever remembered wanting is to be everything he isn't. Someday I'll get away from him permanently. Someday. Anyway, I got away, but lost track of time. Time. Dad smashed my watch when he slammed me into the wall. My birthday watch he gave me so that we could synchronize watches. Hilarious if it wasn't so pathetic. I hid in a parking garage most of the day. It was cooler there. I must have fallen asleep when I woke up. I had no idea what time it was. It was dark, so I just headed for the truck. Then I got turned around and I got lost. That's when the cops picked me up. Tell you the truth, I was relieved. But now I'm scared. Dad's literally gonna kill me. Literally. Oh, shit.
His terror spill, tension broken. Josh unconsciously relaxes into Mac. The unexpected touch stirs something deeper in each of them.
I'm sorry. That's not a shitty break. That's totally fucked up, man. That's what it is. That's totally fucked up.
Josh shifts even closer into Mac. Mac would put his arms around Josh if his hands weren't cuffed in his lap. He extends his cuffed right hand to Josh.
I'm supposed to hate people like you. I'm supposed to hate you.
I'm Sean Miguel. My friends call me Mac.
Josh shakes Mac's hand. It's awkward with the cuffs.
Josh Novak. Nice to meet you.
Josh. Is that where the JJ comes from?
No, only one Josh, thank God. JJ is for Joshua Jr. Only my father calls me that. I hate it. Thanks for letting me vent.
You really needed a pop. Kind of honored I could be your sounding board.
Honored? More like you were in the right place at the wrong time. Or maybe it's the other way around.
Feel better?
A little. My head's pounding. Starving. Mac?
Oh, Mac's my last name. McHenry. Sean Miguel was a compromise between my Scottish father and my Mexican mother. Sort of like a family joke. She's from San Miguel de Allende. San Miguel. Sean Miguel. I know it's not a very good joke. Kids started calling me Mac in the first grade and it stuck.
So how'd you get here?
Josh is genuinely interested and sits up. He sees Mac for the first time. There's a new kind of tension. Attraction? Hero worship?
I was supposed to meet some friends. I never found them. Maybe they chickened out. I marched, then headed for home once things began turning violent. The cops were shutting down the streets left and right, making sure there was only one way anyone could go. I tried to give them the slip, but when I thought it was clear, they came around the other way, so here I am. I fell into one of their clubs.
Whoa. Deja vu.
Been here before, have you? Wouldn't expect someone in your costume to know about deja vu, let alone drop it in conversation.
Don't judge a book by its cover, especially this one. You know what I mean. This situation, me and you, it suddenly feels familiar. Like I've lived this moment before. With you. Wild.
Where the wild things are sounds about right. Let the wild rumpus start. Yeah, that's a deja vu, all right. I'm a I'm a big believer in synchronicity. Things happen for a reason.
What happens next?
Meaning,
What do you want to do?
if we're being honest, I've wanted to give you a hug for the last couple of minutes.
I think I'd like that.
Josh and Mac stand, and after some awkward choreography, Mac removes Josh's MAGA hat and gets his handcuffed arms around him. This embrace is closer than either expected, and Josh's handcuffed hands are amusingly and awkwardly close to Mac's crotch, but they stop fidgeting suddenly and stare into one another's eyes for a long, long beat. Josh swallows hard, then kisses Mac full on the mouth, firmly with passion. They separate slightly, staring, each astonished by the other. Then Mac kisses Josh with identical enthusiasm.
Wow, I've never done that before.
Kissed?
Kissed a man like that. Hell, I've never kissed anyone like that. Yeah, no, I've definitely never done that before.
And?
I can't wait to do it again. I wish I had a meant. We're so dumb.
I've got some Altoids in my inside jacket pocket. Just follow the rattling tin.
More awkward, silly hugging choreography. Mac tries to disengage the embrace, but his cuffs snag something on the back of Josh's fur.
Ah, shit.
What?
I'm stuck. My handcuffs, they've snagged something in this smelly carpet. Feels like it might tear.
No, don't. Mom will freak. This was her grandfather's coat.
Okay. I don't mind staying like this for however long it lasts, but a mint would be nice. Speaking for myself, mind you.
I don't mind. At all.
You know, Josh, it might be less awkward for us both if you can manage to raise your hands and put them around my neck.
I'll try.
Josh does so, collecting the Altoids tin in Mac's jacket pocket in the process. The two men share an intimate moment, one each. Romance must be in the air, despite the circumstances, or maybe because of them. They begin moving rhythmically, as if dancing to a melody only they can hear. Mac's cuffed hands around Josh's torso, Josh's hands still cuffed and clasped behind Mac's neck.
Of all the things I thought might happen today, this was nowhere near that list.
You're telling me.
Josh and Mac laugh and kiss again. They dance some more. The two of them are in another world until an angry offstage voice intrudes.
What the fuck y'all think you're doing? I'm on your side. We're on the same side. Why drag me into this when it's all those goddamn Antifa anarchist assholes dragging us to Armageddon, kicking and screaming? I got your name. I got your badge number.
Shit!
What is it?
It's Dad. Shit! Oh, shit.
Hey, breathe.
You don't know him. He's crazy. He's fucking nuts.
Josh has trouble standing. He feels faint. Mac helps them both sit back down, still in their awkward, adorable embrace.
He's a bully.
He's worse than that.
He's one man.
With an army just to text away.
Maybe it's time you defected.
What?
Make a break for the other side. Come home with me. It's the perfect hideout.
Are you serious?
As a heart attack. Well, don't have one.
Oh God, no! This is so sudden. I don't know. I don't know.
Sudden, like the last 15 minutes were sudden?
Touche.
Touche. You continue to surprise me, Josh Novak.
That's good, I hope.
Very good. Whatever happens, I've got your back. Literally.
Mac
Literally.
pats Josh on the back where his cuffs are stuck.
Literally now and in whatever comes next. What?
It's silly. I was just thinking how this is not the cue my dad expects.
They kiss again, enjoying the moment as long as they can.
Fight it, lovebirds! What the fuck? Don't you fucking dare put me in the same room with these goddamn degenerates!
Mac and Josh look out. Mac is wary but calm. At first, Josh blanches with fear, then visibly relaxes, secure in the knowledge and physically reminded Mac has his back, literally.
JJ?
Blackout.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh my goodness. Wow. DMK, do you have any specific questions for our feedback?
Nope.
Okay, great. So
I am open to anything anybody has to say. I mean, I have multiple ideas about where this is going next. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
I love it. Okay, so starting with popcorn moments. Trumpanzee, that was one for me.
The look between them, just the silent look was wonderful.
Carla?
I did love like that moment of when Andrew was after the kiss, when he was like, I wish I've never done that before. And but I wish I had some gum or something like that sort of like true to life. Like that was awesome, but is my breath fresh? Popcorn.
Mandy?
I liked the unspoken moments of when I mean, if anyone's been on a date during COVID, you're like, do I leave my mask on? Do I take my mask off? Do we have that conversation? Am I going to kiss this person? I'm going to kiss this person. And you can go back so you're in it. And I really appreciated that.
All credit for that goes to Luis, because that was not written in the script. It was just something we worked out beforehand. And
well, it takes place in July 2020?
Yes. But I had kind of written it without the COVID layer yet. I was working from a different approach, and I knew I had to work that in somewhere in there, and so that was just worked out tonight. And I totally give credit to Luis for that moment.
Beautiful. Mark?
I love Josh's journey. I think it's just terrific, and the way Andrew skated it was lovely. And it's just such a transformation that happens in such a short amount of time. That's makes it really impactful.
Natalie, did you have your hand up, or did I? Oh no, I imagined that. David Adam Gill feels so passionately that he came back to our Zoom to talk about this piece. Any other popcorn moments? For me, I had, this is in the stage directions, but each astonished by the other. That was just such a lovely description. I love that so much. Kirsten?
I love the deja vu moment and the synchronous, no, there's something about synchronicity moment between them, or whatever. I can't remember the line, but you know what I'm talking about.
Things happen for a reason.
Yeah. I love that moment.
just the line I flubbed.
Andrew.
I was I was going over this script earlier today before we got into it, and I was in the shower and I was thinking, I'm like, it's really pretty. The popcorn thing that stood out to me is that like he had just gotten this watch like probably yesterday that his dad gave him, and then in a complete, just I imagine in a belligerent just rage, he shoves Josh up against the wall, shattering the watch. And that was just that image was really poignant to me, because it's like, oh, like
You can tell.
Yeah. And so the shattering of like the time, and then also just that's like this is kind of a stretch, but like it's like communion, like in a play or a movie or something, where like we share like a drink or something and somebody doesn't finish it. It's like, ooh, that's like something is awry with that relationship. And I thought that was a great way to do that with like, here's this gift, now it's broken because of me. So that was just a moment.
That's lovely. David Adam Gale.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations, David. I thought they did a really good job with that. The thing that sticks out to me, to kind of piggyback on what Josh / Andrew Griffin was saying, is how the shattering of time is actually time stands still for these two characters as well. So time stops, the watch is shattered, time stops on the watch, time stops in this moment. And I thought that was very moving and beautiful.
Thanks. Before we go on, I should give a shout out to Mark Hoffmeyer, who was the offstage voice of Dad, Mr. Novak.
I knew that was you.
So good. So good.
So much fun playing a redneck.
Oh, so beautiful. Todd, yes.
Just a question. The whole time shot, it was funny, and you maybe didn't even mean this, but it reminded me of Great Gatsby when he catches the clock off the mantelpiece. No, but I don't know if you know that scene, but it was interesting. It was an odd illusion, which is so weird because, of course, that's Daisy and Gatsby, and this is two men. But it was great. I really liked it. I liked it very much.
Thanks.
I love the snag on the coat too.
Yeah, so much of this is visual on stage to see, the Black Lives Matter and the MAGA next to each other and then entwined in this awkward embrace. So it's really hard to translate on Zoom, but
I think it shined through.
Thanks.
That's what I was going to say, is your stage directions were so honest about how, compared to film and theater, some embraces and first kisses and things are so perfectly choreographed, and it never goes like that, especially for normal or awkward people. There is so much figuring people out and exactly what to do. And I thought you wrote it really well in the stage directions.
Thanks.
David.
Just have one more thing, David, and I know that you expanded it from class, but the opening, which is so awkward, and but I think it's very powerful. The one guy is trying to be charming and trying to get this guy to talk, and he's just staring, he's just trying desperately to engage him. And I thought it was a really great, really strong opening to the scene. When he finally says cuffs, and he's like, excuse me? He's like, cuffs. Great job.
Absolutely. So moving on to questions. If anyone had any moments where they dropped out or were confused, or any questions overall. I will start. I had two questions, one sort of minuscule and the other more thematic. I don't know what Oathkeeper means in this context. Maybe that's just me, but and I'm sure it's my ignorance, but I didn't know in this context in particular what that refers to, specifically in Trump fanatics or white nationalism.
It's another far right Second Amendment. I think it's the Oath Keepers that were shown. Oh no, it was Proud Boys. Never mind. But yeah, it's
I certainly understood it in the context.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, I certainly understood that in the context.
Very, militaristic militia. Hence you're my mini-me second in command.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of that's super clear. It was just, for a moment I was like, do I know that? Maybe I don't. I guess I guess I do and I don't want to know more about those things. Yeah. And I wondered at how much the two men were sharing and how quickly they were sharing it with each other. I really enjoy the heightened stakes of both what they're immediately representing physically, as well as the situation that they're in, that they're cuffed, that they're in this police station. But from the dialogue itself, I didn't necessarily feel or understand quite where their urgency to share was coming from, because it did feel like it spilled out quickly and fully.
Too much too soon kind of thing.
I don't, for me, I don't think that there is ever like a too much too soon or anything like that. For me, it's always what feels truthful, and what feels, really for me as an actor and as a writer, I think it's truthfulness all the way down. And I wondered at how much Josh would want to share, how much Mac would be interested in him, and what it is. If you can let us in, I think you have a good sense as the writer as to why they're so deeply interested in each other. And I think the more you can let us in on what that spark is, the more I will understand. Because thinking through it intellectually, I understand that Josh is probably trying to say, this isn't me, I swear. But, and Mac is obviously, I think, maybe aware of that or very interested in him, but I'm curious as to how you can make that clear for us. Yeah.
That's a very good note. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. We are sort of out of time, but if anybody else has any, I'm sorry, I monopolized that. I'm so sorry.
In the best way.
But if anybody else has any thoughts or quick last minute thoughts, otherwise, please, again, use the feedback form. I cannot stress this enough as a writer who has done this feedback form, Zoom, Life, Labs. It's awesome. Reading that feedback the next day, 2 days later, I cannot tell you how helpful it is to have those notes physically in front of you. So really, really, I appreciate everybody so much filling out those forms and sending that info. And other than that, that concludes Lab 34. Thank you so much for being with us, everyone who's watching. Thank you for these actors and these writers for bringing in this absolutely fabulous work. We are, as I said, we are New Ambassadors Theater Company. We will be continuing these labs. Please come back and see us again. We are going to, so generally we have done when we were physically in person and on Zoom, we have been doing labs once a month, as you've seen it here with 5 writers. In our second quarter this year, so starting in April, we will be moving to 2 labs a month with 3 writers apiece, to try to cut down on Zoom fatigue, which I'm sure we are all feeling in this moment. And I appreciate so much all of your energy and loveliness. But we will be moving to 3 writers twice a month, which will both allow us to have slightly shorter evenings as well as more writers across the board, which is fabulous on both ends. So please sign up for the newsletter so that you have all of that information. The doodle for the to sign up as an actor for Lab 35 is already live. Please sign up there if you'd like to act with us. The Lab 35 playwrights will be Ben Dworkin, David Adam Gill, Maura Kelly, Mandy Murphy, and Josh Austin Wiggins, hosted by none other than Jackie Silver. And this will be on a day. David Adam Gill, what day is it on?
Sorry. March 19th. February and March have the same
March, same
things
day,
happen. Yeah.
same day, 1 month later. So March 19th, please come back and see us here, and keep tabs on our future projects coming up, including Blurring Boundaries, which will be our online version of the short play festival that we have done twice now.
Once.
Only
Yeah,
once.
remember that COVID thing happened.
Heartbreaking. We love it. But
No, that's in February.
yes.
Heartbreak.
Heartbroke. Sorry. Blurring Boundaries. What's wrong with me? Blurring Boundaries will be happening this summer. Please keep an eye out for that. And please, if anyone has the ability, we are fundraising now so that we can pay our wonderful actors, our wonderful writers, for those positions. So every little bit helps. There is a fundraiser on our Instagram and our Facebook. You can find all that information as well as on our website, New Ambassadors Theater Company. So please find us on the web, find us back here next month, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Excellent job.
It was such a joy to be here. And we'll say goodnight, YouTube.
Okay, good night, YouTube. All right. I'm going